Okay, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat dito sa Donmar TV. At dito sa video na ito ay trending na trending itong debate nito ni Senator Tulfo at itong si Senator Pia Cayetano. Okay? Yan po ang ating papanoorin kasi medyo umiinit po ang kanilang mga debate. Pati itong si Senator Pia Cayetano versus itong si Senator Hontiveros. Mainit rin ang kanilang debate. So yan po ang ating papanoorin ngayong umaga na ito. Dito sa vlog na ito, sabay-sabay nating panoorin at magre-react tayo dito sa mga pangyayari. Okay? Ito, without further ado, papanoorin natin kaagad itong kay Senator Tulfo at itong si Senator Pia, itong mainit na debate sa dalawa. Okay, play.
Yes, Senator Raffy. What's the pleasure of Senator Raffy Tulfo?
Mr. President, in the past few weeks, I have coordinated with the Office of the Majority Leader regarding the membership of the committees I hold as chairman. In fairness to the Majority Leader's office, they have extended all efforts to formalize the election of the members of the Committee on Public Services and Migrant Workers. What disturbs me is that it is the inaction of the Minority Floor Leader to confirm these memberships that holds important LEDAC bills hostage, such as the Department of Water, crucial franchise bills, and the OFW reintegration bills. To my colleagues in the minority, maraming salamat po for your confirming your intent to join my committee. But to the minority leader, my good friend, Senator Alan Peter Cayetano, it is time that we cooperate so that we may get back to legislating. If you have time to go on FB Live, maybe you have time to confirm
Tinitira
or
niya
give the
si
go signal to your
Cayetano.
minority members. Kasi Mr. President, pabalik-balik na po yung staff ko sa office ni Senator Peter Alan Cayetano
Ba't ka
para
namimilit?
kumuha raw ng go signal nang sa gayon yung kanyang mga members ay ma-elect na sa committee ko. And all of them were saying we're more than happy and willing to sign, pero ayaw ni Senator Cayetano, Alan Cayetano.
Kung ayaw.
I don't know anong dahilan niya, bakit niya
Huwag kang
hino-hostage
huwag kang
yung
pipilitin.
pagiging members ng kanyang mga kasamahan sa committee ko. Hino-hostage niya po yung mga LEDAC bills sa kanyang pagtanggi na bigyan ng go signal ang kanyang mga kasamahan sa minority para pumirma. Mr. President, sana makarating to kay Senator Alan Peter Cayetano. Kanina sana kausapin ko po siya, kaso wala po siya dito ngayon. Therefore, I have no choice para dalhin to sa floor. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.
Senator Raffy, thank you for that reminder. In fact, we have 32 committees that have yet
Hindi
to
pa nakapag-respond si
be fully
Senator
convened.
Alan dyan.
Kulang pa ho tayo ng mga members. And we would like to request later on, me and the majority leader would coordinate and talk to our minority leader to provide us with the list of members to fully complete the 32 committees. We recognize
For just $67,
And skip natin
you can generate
nag-a-ads
as
kasi
many videos as you want and
skip
never
natin.
have to worry.
Senator Pia Cayetano.
Thank you, Mr. Senate President. Actually, I don't really have to stand anymore because the Senate President already responded in the manner that I believe is becoming of the Senate. Senator Tulfo, madali niyo naman akong tanungin, alam niyo naman kapatid ko si Alan, kung gusto niyo may parating.
Na.
Huwag na ho kayo magdrama ng mga pa-hostage. Hindi ho tayo ganito dito. And I certainly hope that you don't set a precedent kasi I don't know the Senate President to be that way. I don't know the Majority Floor Leader to be that way. He happens to be seated beside the former Senate President. The Minority Floor Leader doesn't happen to be here. I can talk to him. Pag in-ignore niya kayo and the next day, wala pa rin, then sige, sabihin niyo yung gusto niyo. Pero huwag naman sanang ganun.
Correct.
Wala ko akong naalala
Daming
ganun
drama
salita
ito,
dito sa Senate nung
si Tulfo,
for the 19 years that I've been a senator. Yun lang naman po. Thank you, Mr. Senate President.
What's the pleasure of Senator Raffy Tulfo?
Sandali, Mr. President. Ubusin ko muna yung tawa ko. Never po ako nagdrama dito. Simula nung ako'y maging senador, never ever po ako nagdrama rito.
Drama ka.
Halugugin niyo po yung mga post sa social media. Never niyo ako nakita nagdrama.
Yes.
O ginamit to para
Ang
mag-grandstanding.
yabang tong tao to.
Alam niyo po yan. Alam na lahat ng tao rito. Sino ang nagdadrama? Tumingin muna kayo sa salamin bago kayo magsalita. Salamat po.
Pareho naman pong majority and minority gusto ng mag-focus sa trabaho.
Yeah.
At kanina ho, natapos na ho natin yung anti-hospital detention na napakaganda po yung debate at pag-amenda. At
Ang mali
naniniwala
kasi
po
ni
ako na
Tulfo, bakit
mabubuo
kailangan
rin
niya pang
natin
i-announce
itong,
yan sa microphone, di ba?
mga committees
Useless.
natin sa pamamagitan ng coordination between yours truly and the majority leader.
Yeah, Mr. President, we'll just both reach out to our dear friend,
Yes.
the minority floor leader. He hasn't been feeling well, so let's give him.
We'll reach out to him.
We'll reach out to him, and by tomorrow we can settle this issue and elect already the members of the minority.
Correct.
At least I can guarantee and say that Senator Amy is on all those committees. As being deputy minority floor leader, she's in all those
Si
committees.
Tulfo kasi-
Yeah, we just have to elect the
Si
other
Senator
members.
Amy.
Opo.
Dadaan sa
don't
init
worry,
ng
Mr.
ulo.
President. We'll reach out to our dear minority floor leader, and I'm sure by tomorrow we can settle this all, and we'll start electing members to be able to sign the committee reports.
Yeah,
We
because-
guarantee all our members, both in the majority and the
Yes,
minority.
because we cannot sign the committee reports without completing the committee memberships, as well as the BICAM and the ratification without completing the membership. So it's really important that we should complete that
Yes.
as soon as possible.
Absolutely, Mr. President. And finally, Mr. President, before we adjourn, just two administrative matters. Mr. President, following are some of the measures relating to Paxilica initiative pending referrals to the order of business. Under resolution number PSR number 547,
Mamaya abangan natin yung kay Hontiveros at ni Pia Cayetano, yung debate nilang dalawa.
introduced by Senator Amy Marcos, and PS resolution number 571, introduced by Senator Raffy Tulfo. With the consent of the body, I move that PS resolution number 547 and 571, together with PS resolution number 541, titled Resolution Directing the Senate Committee on Environment, and Natural Resources and Climate Change to conduct an inquiry in native legislation into the nationwide practice of illegal wastewater discharge and improper septic waste disposal, be included and taken up in the hearing of the Committee on the Environment and Natural Resources and Climate Change to be held this Friday, August 14, 2026. This is without prejudice to the referral to be made on all other measures in the proper time. I so move, Mr. President.
Is there any objection? Hearing done, the motion of the majority leader is hereby approved.
And in the like manner, Mr. President, in relation to PS Resolution number 588, titled Resolution Directing the Committee on Economic Affairs to conduct an inquiry in native legislation into the domestic steel industry, which is likewise pending referral of order of business. With the consent of the body, I move that the measure be included and taken up in the hearing of the Committee on Economic Affairs to be held this Thursday, August 13, 2026. This is likewise without prejudice to the referral to be made at the proper time. I so move, Mr.
Is
President.
there any objection? Hearing done, the motion is approved.
Thank you, Mr. President. With that, I thank all my colleagues for their
So, ayan yung parinigan ni Senator Tulfo at itong si Pia Cayetano. Ito namang si Tulfo parang babae. Di ba? Pwede naman niya i-address yan dyan sa kanila. Magkatabi lang naman sila. Talaga pang i-microphone nila at ipalabas sa media, makakita lahat ng taong bayan. Di ba? Mahilig si Tulfo ng ganyan eh. Ito naman yung kay Senator Pia Cayetano at ni Hontiveros naman. Itong drama naman ni Hontiveros play.
Actually, Mr. President, dear sponsor, I don't have any more amendments here. It's more of, I would like us to be able to put on record how will the hospitals be paid for the expenses of the indigent patients. If the body will recall, during our last discussion, I had put on record that the amounts could be quite substantial. And let me just grab my notes. So I included in the discussion the concept of the zero balance billing, which was part of the SONA 2 years ago, and if I'm not mistaken, reiterated this SONA, because the zero balance billing in its perfect form would mean that there is no longer any balance that will be paid when a patient is discharged. So wala na siyang babayaran. Yun yung talagang utopian concept ng zero balance billing. But upon clarification, this was last year, the DOH came out with the policy that the zero balance billing will only apply to DOH hospitals.
Yes, Mr.
It-
President.
Sorry,
Not-
I'll just complete.
Ah,
Is it okay?
sorry. Good,
So just to
gentlemen.
complete, the zero balance billing only applies to DOH hospitals and specialty hospitals. And that number's 91 yan. 87 DOH hospitals plus 4, tama ba? Plus 4 specialty hospitals, 91. And yet, our total number of hospitals is around 1,000. So, wala pang 10% yung mga ospital na pwedeng puntahan ng mga tao para maka-avail ng zero balance billing. So I'm simply presenting the reality on the ground na pagpunta doon ng pasyente at nag-expect siya ng wala siyang kakayanan magbayad, and Her Honor has included in the discussion a very important segment of the population, yung financially incapacitated na iba pa sa indigent. Talagang nangangailangan yan. Maraming middle class na namumulube dahil sa presyo dahil sa nagkasakit. Mahal nga magkasakit. So I'm very happy naman na we recognize the need of those who are actually nga financially capable pa nga yan pero mamumulubi ka talaga. So lahat naman tayo nagkakaintindihan dyan. It's not a point of contention. Ang gusto ko lang ilagay natin sa record, and off the record kasi nabanggit naman ng sponsor that she can present the numbers which I believe came from the Senate President, which I believe came from me. So
And from
I think
PIDS, Mr. President.
I think we know these numbers naman. Pero pakita naman natin sa tao kung ano to. Kasi hindi naman ako nag-invento niyan. Galing po yan sa PIDS, no? Yung ating kinikilalang think tank. Sa kanila nang galing yan kung magkano gagastusin, magkano ang annual na gastos natin sa mga nagkakasakit na kailangan mag-ospital, ma-ospital. Would you like to be the one to put it on record, Your Honor?
All right, Mr. President. First of all, we are not forcing private hospitals into a zero balance billing arrangement. This bill does not create zero balance billing in private hospitals. Hindi po niya ine-extinguish yung mga unpaid balances. Pinoprohibit lang talaga yung detention o kaya withholding on the ground of non-payment. So for the record, hospitals may still collect unpaid lawful charges through promissory notes, lawful security, guarantee letters, assignments where allowed by law, and civil remedies. Ngayon po, going to yung data no na inestimate ng Philippine Institute for Development Studies at nakuha nating lahat mula sa Office of the Senate President. Ito po nagpo-provide ng data sets covering indigent inpatient claims from 2024 to 2026. Pero at the outset pa lang, Mr. President, disclaimer kaagad hindi po dapat ito tignan na fiscal cost of the bill. Kasi hindi po natin pinapa-automatic guarantee sa gobyerno lahat ng unpaid bills ng ating mga pasyente o ating mga pamilya who would otherwise be detained in hospitals, clinics, or like facilities dahil hindi pa nila mabayaran yung kanilang bill or kanilang buong bill. Because after yung whatever, kung mayroon man na mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya, magka-come into play hindi lang itong mga nasa data ng PIDS, pero lahat ng medical assistance programs ng iba't ibang government agencies as governed by each of their criteria at saka conditions kung qualified ba o hindi yung pasyente at pamilya niya sa particular na assistance na iyon. And in the end, kapag may balanse pa, collectible pa rin ito on the part of the hospital. At pwede pa rin niyang habulin ang balancing ito, including through civil proceedings. Basta ang importante po ay makakamit yung unang layunin ng kasalukuyang batas at layunin pa rin, primary objective pa rin nitong amendatory bill natin na ang pasyente o pamilya niya ay hindi nadidetain. So, tinignan pa rin po namin sa office ko yung data mula sa PIDS, yung data sets ginamit para i-compute yung gross residual billing gap. Again, hindi po ina-assume na nire-represent nito yung amount na actually collected from the patient. Likewise, hindi po dapat i-assume na nire-represent nito yung actual out-of-pocket expenditures. And again, it should not be construed na ang national government na ang automatic guarantor. Kasi yung guarantee letter, accepted in lieu of a promissory note, again, hindi niya ginagawang guarantor ang gobyerno sa buong balanse. There will still be those three components. Kung ano yung kahit konti or minsan wala, mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya, tapos yung iba't ibang medical assistance programs ng iba't ibang government agencies. And kung may balanse, recoverable pa rin ang ospital, including through civil proceedings. So would the gentle lady like me to put the numbers on the record? Because I can do that. If she will bear with
I
me.
think we should
All
because we can now have a clearer discussion kung ano
All
yung
right.
ma-expect ng mga tao pag they're confronted with this situation na hospital sila, tapos gusto nilang ma-discharge. So lagay natin sa record yan, Madam Sponsor.
All right. But again, Mr. President, just with that disclaimer na ito yung magiging exposure ng gobyerno kung yung buong balanse na hindi mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya ay sasaluhin ng gobyerno, which is not the case. So again, I just want to put that on record na wag nating isipin na ang hindi mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya ay babayaran lahat ng gobyerno. Masasubject pa rin to the requirements at criteria ng bawat medical assistance program, ng bawat government agency. At sa huli, kung may balanse pa, obligasyon pa rin ng pamilya at pasyente, collectible pa rin on the part of the hospital. So, government as guarantor means the potential budgetary obligation that may arise when DOH, DSWD, PCSO, or other government medical assistance programs issue or honor guarantee letters for qualified, indigent, or financially incapacitated patients covering the unpaid balances of hospital bills after, Mr. President, that PhilHealth benefits, discounts, patient payments, kung mayroon, HMO or insurance payments, charitable deductions, and other applicable benefits have been applied. So again, yung ipuput on record ko ngayon ay for purposes lamang of estimating fiscal exposure. Again, it does not mean that the automatic full payment of the entire hospital bill. It does not also mean zero balance billing. It does not include amounts already covered by PhilHealth, private insurance, HMO, patient payment, hospital discount, or charity write-off. It also does not include payments who are not assessed and qualified under applicability eligibility rules, agency guidelines, and availability of funds. So availability of funds pa rin, Mr. President, per medical assistance program of each government agency. So for proxy computation, the estimated government exposure may be expressed as, so estimated government exposure, kaya ba nating ipakita ito on the screen? Equals number of qualified cases times average residual unpaid balance times assumed approval or payment rate. Teka, saan nawala yung aking... Sandali lang po, Mr. President. Okay. So yung estimated government exposure equals number of qualified cases times average residual unpaid balance times assumed approval or payment rate. Where number of qualified cases refers to the assumed number of indigent or financially incapacitated patients, cases that may be endorsed for government medical assistance. In the absence of a national hospital detention data set na tinanong kanina ni Senator Joel, dahil wala po tayong ganyang data set talaga na kompleto ng cases of hospital detention, yung PhilHealth indigent or NHTS PR claims may be used as a narrow proxy. So proxy lang siya, Mr. President, while all indirect contributor claims may be used as a broader stress test proxy. Yung average residual unpaid balance refers to the assumed unpaid amount remaining after PhilHealth, discounts, patient payments, coverage of HMOs, charitable deductions, and other benefits have been applied. And assumed approval or payment rate refers to the portion of endorsed cases that government assistance programs can actually cover, subject to eligibility, agency guidelines, and always availability of funds. So ito, Mr. President, pinepresenta ko lang itong proxy bilang fiscal risk scenario. Hindi po ito official cost estimate talaga. At pinapakita pa rin ito na importante itong bill bilang primarily anti-detention measure. Hindi po talaga siya automatic government guarantee para sa lahat ng unpaid private hospital bills. Okay, kung gagamitin natin yung NHTS, yung PhilHealth 2024 indigent claims, ang volume po nun ayon sa PIDS ay mga 2.07 million claims. Again, narrow proxy ito. And assume natin for stress testing purposes, 100% approval o payment rate na hindi nangyayari. A residual unpaid balance of 10,000 pesos per case would imply around 20.7 billion pesos in annual exposure. Kung 25,000 pesos per case ang residual na hindi pa nababayaran sa bill ng mga pasyente, ang exposure ay tataas sa 51.8 billion pesos. At 50,000 per case, the exposure could exceed 100 billion pesos. Pero kung kalahati lang naman ng qualified cases ay ma-approve or mababayaran, yung figures ay makakalahati. So ang exposure would be at around 50 billion pesos. If you will bear with me, Mr. President and Gentle Lady, with more numbers, pero dahil kinrunch po talaga namin yung data ng PIDS, kung i-apply yung test more broadly sa lahat ng indirect contribution claims, o around 8.61 million claims, mas lalaki yung exposure. Kung 100% ang payment rate, 10,000 pesos residual unpaid balance per case would imply around 86 billion pesos exposure, while 25,000 pesos per case would imply around 215 billion pesos. Pero again, Mr. President, yung actual exposure ay magdedepende pa sa kung ilang mga kaso ay talagang magka-qualify at aktual na maaprubahan at mababayaran sa ilalim ng rules ng bawat ahensya at available funds niya. So for context pa, Mr. President, yung existing public medical and crisis assistance envelope ay substantial, significant, pero of course limitado. Ang DOH MAIFIP ay mga 51.6 billion pesos para sa taong 2026. DSWD-AIX ay mga 63.9 billion pesos at yung medical assistance ng PCSO, although noong 2024 amounted to mga 3.27 billion pesos for 330,023 beneficiaries or roughly 9% per beneficiary. And again, kahit paulit-ulit po, Mr. President, importanteng bigyan ko ng diin, hindi po ito official cost estimates. Dahil ang PhilHealth claims ay hindi pareho ng unique detained patients. Hindi lahat ng napapakinabangan ang PhilHealth coverage ay nade-detain. Hindi lahat ng claims involve unpaid balances. May mga claims na nababayaran naman, walang unpaid balances. Hindi lahat ay private hospital cases. At hindi lahat ay magka-qualify para sa government guarantee letters. Proxy scenarios lamang po ito na magpapakita o pinapakita ang fiscal risk kung ma-misinterpret natin ang measure bilang full government guarantee. Dahil hindi po full government guarantee itong bill. Itong bill ay primarily anti-detention. Pero sinasabi pa rin natin, ina-uphold pa rin natin, pagkatapos anumang mabayaran ng pasyente at pamilya niya, pagkatapos may coverage ng alinmang medical assistance program o mga medical assistance programs ng government agency or agencies, kapag ka may balanse pa rin, obligasyon pa rin ng pasyente at pamilya, collectible pa rin on the part of the hospital. So, bilang suma sa pag-numbers crunch namin sa datos ng PIDS, yung safe fiscal position ay malinaw pa rin, Mr. President, dahil walang automatic full guarantee, walang automatic zero balance billing, at wala ring automatic extinguishing ng hospital debt. Ang anumang guarantee letter o assistance nananatiling subject sa eligibility, guidelines, approval, at available funds. So, muli, I cannot stress enough, ang pinagbabawal ng panukala natin ay detention. Hindi niya po pinagbabawal ang lawful collection, Mr. President.
Thank you for that lengthy and quite exhaustive discussion to the sponsor. We appreciate that she gave us a lot of numbers, which I've never seen, no? I've never seen these numbers. What we've seen are the PIDS, the PIDS numbers. But nevertheless, malalaki, the bottom line is malaki ho ang gastos. And I agree with Her Honor that this bill never intended to be a government guarantee. Hindi nga. The only reason for Her Honor's information, for the sponsor's information, that we kept on bringing back yung magkano ang babayaran ng gobyerno, because ang private hospital, yun yung aasahan niya. I mean, that's, okay, I'll go back. If you recall, na-announce nga na may zero balance billing. So at first, akala ng lahat covered yon, no? Lahat ng tao, akala nila kahit saan sila hospital pupunta, covered. Then DOH clarified, ay hindi, covered lang ang zero balance billing ng DOH hospitals and specialty hospitals. So pag dun ka pumunta, wala kang babayaran, government ang magbabayad nun. Clear naman po tayo doon, Madam Sponsor, di ba?
Yes, Mr. President.
Na yon. So at least yun pa nga, whether indigent ka pa nga o hindi, wala nang problema, right? Do we understand each other? Walang problema,
Under the
no?
zero balance billing system, Mr.
Under the zero
President.
balance. So kaya nga sabi ko earlier, yung utopian if we look at it in the best possible scenario, in a utopian world, if all the hospitals and health centers were zero balance billing, I guess we don't even need this law. Is that correct? Tama?
Well, actually, that utopian world, Mr. President, was already contemplated in part by the original law. Dahil sinubukan na, even in the original law, siguruhin na no one would be detained. It's just that in the past years ng implementation, nakita natin yung kahirapan ng implementation to the point na, gaya ng pinut on the record namin ni Senator Joel, marami-rami pa ring horror stories na gusto sanang mapigilan ng original law at gusto nating mas ma-realize ngayon through this amendatory bill.
So
Mr.
kaya nga, so
President.
malayo pa tayo dun sa yung utopian version ng zero balance billing kasi nga there is a balance to be paid. And hanggat hindi nababayaran yon, ang tendency ng hospital, if we did not pass this law, the original law, and if we don't improve on it, is naghahanap ng way yung hospital to get paid. And one way that they feel that they can get paid is that they somehow find a way to go around the existing law to, if not detain the person, detain the kamag-anak, detain the personal properties. Yun yung situation natin, no? Correct? We understand each other on that.
We understand each other, Mr. President. And again, part of the situation, this is not a zero balance billing law. This actually provides for non-detention of patients and families, even outside the ZBB system, by putting into play whatever limited or absent resources of the patient and family. Tapos yung iba't ibang medical assistance programs ng mga government agencies, apart pa po from the zero balance billing system. And then again, yung balances na obligasyon pa rin ng pasyente at pamilya at collectible pa rin on the part of the hospitals, Mr. President.
But the reality, Madam Sponsor, Mr. President, is yung indigent patient and even those who are financially capable, what is financially capable? It would appear, and it's not defined here, no? I'm not aware that we define that, but if you have a medical bill in minimum wage, you're a minimum wage earner, you are financially capable probably to feed your family. Kung dalawa kayong minimum wage earner sa family, kasi the numbers that we have to feed a family of 4 already exceeds the income of a minimum wage earner. So I don't know if we want to define what is a financially capable person, but my point is, kahit na may konti kang kakayanan, lagpas pa sa minimum wage, kahit dalawa pa kayo nagmi-minimum wage, pag tinamaan ka ng matinding sakit, kakapusin ka. Yun talaga yun. Yun talaga yun, kakapusin ka. Magkaroon ng heart disease, magkaroon ng prolonged stay because of pneumonia. And one of the reasons for that is that hindi pa na-implement ng PhilHealth ang DRG. Ang DRG is the diagnosis-related groups, which means, for example, sa isang sakit na katulad ng pneumonia, imbis na 1 or 2 lang yung category, o 20,000, tapos na yan, bayad ka na. They divide it into groups such that meron kang slight pneumonia, severe, serious, life-threatening pneumonia, so that the bill would be covered even if it's in the hundreds of thousands. We don't have that yet. So for now, pag binayaran ka, babayaran ka lang ng kung ano yung minimum, no? And that is why, in that sense, there will be a balance left because ang babayaran lang ng PhilHealth is yung maliit na amount that was computed many years ago, and it's below what it cost the hospital to it is way below the amount na ginastos ng hospital to treat the patient. So brings us back to the main point. Ang point po natin is PIDS gave us figures in the billions. Her Honor also gave us figures. I tried to jot down. Sabi niya kung 50,000 per case, abutin tayo ng 100 billion pesos. Pagkakalahati lang nun, abutin pa rin tayo ng 50 billion. Then meron din siyang computation na pag 25,000 pesos per case, abutin tayo ng 215 billion. I was just jotting notes from Her Honor's statement earlier. The point is this. For 2026, the balance provided for DOH hospitals zero balance billing is just 64.97 billion. 64 billion for DOH hospitals lang. So yung point ko lang naman po is all the other hospitals, and I already mentioned that there are 1,000 plus hospitals, less than 100 or less than 10% have a zero balance policy. So for the remaining 900 plus hospitals, may balanse talaga dyan. Yung iba, katulad naman tama yung sinabi ng sponsor natin, makakabayad. Hindi naman ibig sabihin ng lahat na yon magiging issue itong hospital detention. Kasi yung iba dyan, sa PhilHealth pa lang, bayad na. Pero kadalasan, because we have the numbers also, ang nababayaran ng PhilHealth is on average 30% of the bill. So Her Honor mentioned the different mechanisms to further complete the payment. It could be government intervention, yung personal din na ilalabas ng pasyente at ng mga kamag-anak. So lahat naman yun possibility. So there's a percentage of patients who will not need to avail of this no hospital detention bill. But there will be those that need to avail of it. And the question is, who will pay their balance? Again, Her Honor clarified that this bill does not say it is automatically government. I agree po. Pero the point is there is a bill and sino ang magbabayad. So from the start, ang sinasabi lang natin is we are concerned for the private hospitals that would be left with the bill. And I just want to put on record, hindi ho ako mag-o-object or anything because we have the same purpose. I simply want to put on record na sinabi na ng mga private hospitals, I have a letter from them saying that they would be very concerned. It is from the Private Hospitals Association of the Philippines. Very concerned po sila, especially for the small and medium-sized facilities who would bear more of the uncompensated care. So yun lang naman yung concern nila. So, can government step in? Yes, government can step in. I will put on record again the numbers that you have heard me say. It is not new. There is 292 billion. So this is 1/3 of a trillion unappropriated and unreleased funds for PhilHealth. Ito po ay na-earmark na natin sa Syntax Law. Over the years, this amounts to 292.33. So even if I were to use Her Honor's figures of 25,000 per case, 215 billion, o di covered ang isang taon. If I use a lower number, baka covered ang 2 taon, 3 taon, 4 na taon, 5 taon. The point is that I'm trying to make, and this is not the problem of the sponsor right now with this bill, is that meron naman kahit papanong pondo pang pagkukunan kung sana naririlisan tayo. Si DBM Secretary, Acting Secretary, nandiyan dyan kanina, sabi ko nga kay Senate President, ay sana nakausap natin, na-present natin yung matagal ng utang ng DBM sa pondo para sa PhilHealth na gastusin natin. I will just break this down for everyone's sake, Your Honor. 292.33 billion pesos is unappropriated and unreleased, and the breakdown is as follows. Deficit from Syntax is 113 billion. From PCSO and PAGCOR, 77.46 billion pesos. This is included in the GAA but unreleased 101.43 billion. So 292.33 po ang total niyan. So malaki-laki din yan, sana makakatulong pang gastos. I would also like to add one more point. I mentioned earlier that the zero balance billing for the year 2026 is 64.97 billion. As the Vice Chairman of the Committee on Finance and handling the budget of DOH and PhilHealth, this representation proposed some amendments.
Okay, so ayan po yung sagutan ni na Senator Risa Hontiveros at itong si Senator Pia Cayetano. At least naman ang mga audience natin dito sa Donmar TV ay alam po natin ano ang mga panibagong mga ginagalaw patungkol po dito sa healthcare system ng ating bansa. Okay? So libre kayong mag-comment, mag-react sa inyong opinion dito sa patungkol doon kanina kay Tulfo at ni Senator Alan Peter Cayetano at ngayon naman dito kay Hontiveros at ni Senator Pia, no? So ilatag niyo lang ang inyong opinion sa comment section at babasahin natin yan. Importante na ma-share natin ang ating saloobin, yung ating opinion shared by other viewers, okay? Paki-like na lang, paki-share itong video na ito para kakalat ito sa taong bayan. At sa mga hindi pa nakasubscribe, subscribe na po kayo para updated kayo lagi dito sa trending na mga balita, breaking news dito sa Donmar TV. Okay? See you in my next video. Have a great day. Have a great night. God bless po sa ating lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas and God save the Philippines. Bye-bye.